Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our sunny house. Yesterday, from March 14 to March 15, we had the biggest brownout on Samal since many years. It was more hours, was a brownout, and I would like now to talk to you about this brownout. This is Sahara, our editor and interviewer, and we start now with this interview. Thank you for listening.
My question is, can you tell me about the big blackouts? What are the reasons?
Yes, it was yesterday, more than 15 hours that all of Samal Island had a blackout or brownout, as I call it here. This means all the houses, the shops, workshops, everything was without any electricity.
How long are the blackouts normally?
Normally on Samal Island, it's between just a few minutes or maybe up to 1 hour, but not more than that. So 15 hours, that's quite a long time. Imagine all the refrigerators and everything. So it's all lost. And also the shops had to close. The restaurant could not serve their food because there was no light and no electricity.
How can you manage your sunny houses at Samal Island?
Well, in our sunny houses, we are lucky because we have two solar systems which we had installed in January 2023. And these two solar systems saved us for a certain time against this blackout.
What are the differences of these two solar systems?
Well, we have two different solar systems. The one is the one is our solar on-grid system. That's this one. That's the easiest way how you can connect to the solar energy. And the second system is a off-grid system. That's another technology, but here you need the batteries. So it's very important to have the batteries to come over the night or to come over the blackout. But this is more expensive. The batteries alone here cost more than 100,000 peso. That's maybe 1,200 euro or 1,400 US dollars.
That's amazing, but is there any differences of these two solar systems?
Yes, there's a big difference. The biggest difference is that the typical on-grid system only works when you have a grid. That means this system needs a 60 hertz frequency or 50 hertz in other countries. But when the grid is shutting down, also this solar system is shutting down and you cannot use it. Only in the daytime when you have the grid connection. This is why it's so cheap. But it's a good step to start with the solar energy. This is how most people start.
That does not sound practicably, but what can be done to be better?
Well, the next step is this off-grid system, which we have with a battery. And there you have a much more sophisticated electronic system. And this can, depending on the capacity of your battery and of your charger, this can, in our case, last for 14 hours when we have normal consumption of electricity. In a normal case, we can use our batteries to supply our sunny houses at Samal Island.
So how did the off-grid system help your sunny houses?
Well, it was a little complicated, but there's a third system which we would explain. This is our solar hybrid on and off grid system. That is a combination of the two, and that is the most expensive system, and it combines the two. Because I come from the aircraft industry, we buy two different systems, but electronically they are combined.
How did it work yesterday? Do you have it documented?
Yes, I have. Yesterday we had a normal day here. This is the charging figures. Here the sun is coming up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Here the sun is going up, and then our batteries are charged by this typical curve. Here the battery was more or less full, and then here was the actual blackout. At 2 o'clock something, there was a blackout, and then we still had 3 hours more from our batteries, which we used to supply these houses, including the pumps, including the welding, including power power tools, sorry, including cooking and everything. So we could use 3 more hours for electricity, but in the end there was a final blackout also for us, which was at 6 o'clock something, and then we had 12 hours low electricity here, and we are still investigating why this was cutting out. After 3 hours, normally it should have lasted longer, but we're trying to find the mistake. But this was our result from yesterday.
By any chance, is there a third solar system?
Yeah, the third solar system, sorry, this has the solar hybrid system, which I've already mentioned, sorry. So this, you can see, it's much more complicated, and it's all in one unit. This means when you have any fault in this big unit, you don't have anything. That's why I decided to make 2 different units, one on-grid system, number one, and one off-grid system, number two, which is better for the redundancy. So in any case, something will work, as it did yesterday.
Can you show us the real equipment too?
Yes, I can show you the real equipment. Therefore, we go into our house Neptune. Thank you very much for the audience. Now we can stay here. We go to. So here's our house Neptune, where we have our solar installation. Here you can see the 24 solar panels above our pool. These are the solar panels above the pool to give some shadow for the pool and to supply the electricity. Here you can see Neptune himself, the god of the water, and also a planet of the solar system. So here you see our solar installation.
How does it work?
Well, it works. These are the two systems. This one is this on-grid system for the daytime. This is the off-grid system for the nighttime. Here's a charger unit, and here we can see the actual charging curve, which is now already full. So we were using 3 kilowatt hours we have already charged today, and which means the battery is full again. Here we have in graphics, we can see the consumption of our pool pumps, we can see the consumption of the sunny houses, and we can see the consumption of the clubhouse. It's all for our information. So this gives you an idea, sorry.
Can it be full within a day?
Yes, normally it is full now because the battery is already full, as you can see here. Here. That was a charging process, and at 9 o'clock it was already full. Here we see our batteries on top. Here's a battery. We switch on the light. There you see the 4 batteries, 12.8 volts, 280 ampere hours. 4 batteries, altogether more than 100,000 peso.
Okay.
I think we are done. Thank you very much for your patience, and thank you very much for your interview. I wish you a nice day. Bye bye. Bye bye.